Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I want to give you the word that the Lord has placed in my heart today, and it's basically you don't need to be fighting your own battles, guys. You do not need to be fighting your own battles. You know, the Lord brought something to mind, and it was when Moses, who the Lord had called to bring the children out of Egypt, and while he's about his father's business, he's doing the things of God, his sister Miriam and his brother Aaron began talking about him. Imagine that, his own kinfolk is talking about him, and they were upset with him because he had married an Ethiopian woman. All right, and so they were just saying a lot of things. And Moses is a meek man. He doesn't say much. And of course, they're talking behind his back because he was not there. So they're having this discussion, and the Lord hears, because God is everywhere and he hears all things. So as Moses is going about his business, the Lord is handling his business. So he calls Aaron and Moses and Miriam before him. And he says to them, were you not afraid to talk about Moses, who is my friend, the man who speaks to me face to face? He says people I've spoken to them in dreams, but Moses, I speak to him face to face. I see him as a friend. This is me paraphrasing. And yet you were not afraid to speak against him. And what happened to Miriam? Miriam ended up being struck with leprosy. And the Lord is he doesn't miss. He didn't strike Aaron, he struck Miriam, because Miriam is the one that opened up her mouth and said the things that she said against Moses. And Moses had to plead with God that that he'd have mercy on her. But the Lord said, basically in a nutshell, he did not immediately lift that from Miriam. She had to be outside of the camp for 7 days. And in those 7 days, I imagine she repented. And once the Lord lifted the leprosy off of her, then they continued on. They didn't leave her behind. But the bottom line is, the Lord takes care of those who are against you. Now, my brothers and sisters, this is not something for us to relish and rub our hands together and be happy, because the Lord does not want us to rejoice when the judgment of God falls on people. But what it is to let you know why I'm bringing this up is I need to remind somebody that God is going to take care of those who comes against you. You do not need to be trying to fight your own battles. God hears everything. He hears the plots and the plans of the enemy. And the Bible tells you that people that plot and plan against the innocent, plan against people that's not even, you're doing no harm. And a lot of times what happens when people are plotting and planning against you, they're normally driven by envy. They're normally driven by jealousy, wickedness in their heart. And then sometimes, because they've known the old you, they want to do things to trip up the new you. Because they know the old you, they'll do things and say things to trip up the new you. And sometimes they'll use you to trip up the new you by throwing the old darts, and saying the things that would provoke you and really hurt you. And if you're not walking in the spirit, you're going to succumb to the flesh, right? Or if you end up going in their space, you want to go around them, but then they're there to provoke you. It's funny that the Pharisees and scribes, they invited Jesus to their house to eat. The Pharisee invited Jesus over for dinner, and Jesus went over for dinner. But then when the lady with the alabaster box came she poured out, and she was washing his feet, drying his feet with her hair, they were murmuring and they were talking about him. And of course, he checked them in their own house. And so that sometimes could happen. You're around people, and when you're getting their space and their territory, it kind of makes them feel very comfortable in making statements and being critical and saying things about you. But I just hear the Lord saying that you need to rest in him. If you're about your Father's business, if you're doing the things that God has told you to do, if you are being faithful to Him, if you're in His presence, you're not trying to harm anyone. You've asked the Lord to forgive you for your sins. You've tried to make amends as you can, and you've separated and you moved along as the Lord has instructed you to do. All in all, your face is to God and you're seeking Him. When people are plotting and planning against you, I'm here to tell you that God is going to handle them. The reason why people do so many things in these days is because they're not seeing immediate physical judgments like how it was in the days. But people are not realizing that even though you may not see things, when they do evil, when they go in there speaking evil and being malicious against you, there may not be immediate, they may not see anything immediately in the physical, but in the spiritual, something begins to happen. When they're speaking against you and they're doing certain things, there is a spiritual tab and there's things that's coming. Although the word tarries, when God sends out that word for judgment, it may take a while. And sometimes the Lord is giving those people an opportunity to repent and to stop what they're doing. But they keep doing it. They keep going. Rest assured that God is going to deal with those who are against you. God hates wickedness. God hates sin. God hates people that do what? They have a proud look. They lie. A lying tongue. Feet that are swift to create mischief. These are just a few of the 7 things that God hates the most. And I'm here to tell you that you can rest easy, my brothers and sisters, when you know that you are not doing anyone harm, when you know that you have laid out before the Lord and cried out and asked Him to forgive you, when you know that you have tried to make amends with your enemies, when you know that you are truly serving God with a whole heart and you're about your Father's business. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what you don't know. It doesn't matter what people are telling you. It doesn't matter who comes against you. The Lord is going to deal with your enemies. So do not lift a finger. Do not lift a finger. Do not try to prove your point. I can't tell you enough how important it is to just rest in God and trust Him to vindicate you. Oh, yes, it looks right now that like they're getting away. It looks right now that you like as if you are outnumbered. It looks right now as if, you know what, they're just, you have egg on your face, but trust in the Lord. It looked as if Jesus was defeated too, didn't it? When they were laughing at Him and when they were the band of soldiers attacked Him, and when He was flogged, and when He was taken bound to stand before Pilate, and when He was being led towards the cross for crucifixion, the Pharisees and the scribes, they mocked Him. They walked by the cross and said, "Oh, you who said that you're going to tear down the temple and build it in 3 days, and you helped so many people, and you helped people raise up from the dead. Bring yourself down off that cross." Oh, they thought they had Him because of where He was. I'm here to tell you, it may seem as if you're being crucified right now. It may seem as if you've been flogged. It may seem as if a band of people have come against you, and it may look to others, oh, she's defeated, he's defeated, they're done for. But no, I'm here to tell you, God works in the midst of that. Suddenly, your resurrection is going to come. Suddenly, you're going to rise up. Suddenly, they will not recognize you. Just like when Jesus was walking with His disciples and said, "Oh, so what's going on?" This was after the crucifixion, and He's asking them, "So what's been going on?" And they're saying, "Where have you been? Haven't you heard of what happened to Jesus?" And he walked and talked with them for a while. And they did not know who He was until the last minute when He sat down to eat. He sat down to eat with them, and they still didn't know who He was. Until He said something, and it pierced in their heart, and they recognized who He was, and He vanished from their presence. Oh, when you trust in God, and you leave those who come against you, And even the people that you're walking with and you think that they are with you, but God sees what's in their heart. I'm here to tell you, even the enemy that's sitting there and eating and drinking with you and being kind to you, the Lord sees them. And I'm here to tell you, he's protecting you. There is a wall of fire between you and that person, that presumptuous enemy that comes up in your house and comes up in your space and comes up on your channel and comments and comes up on your channel and hits the dislike button or do all these different things. Your secret spies, the ones that come out to search out the land, that's on your channel, that talks about you, that shares your videos and shares whatever you have going on, and shares your Facebook post among themselves and chitter and chatter and gibber and just talking. God listens, he hears. And I'm here to tell you, he's going to take care of that. He's going to take care of that. Those that are doing those things, guys, and they think they got you, God is going to take care of them. And you are going to be raised up, lifted high up, guys, to the point they're not going to recognize you. Oh, because they don't recognize you guys is sometimes why they try to trip you up. They want to throw out the old bone to see if you're going to go after it. Like the old rabid, sinful person we used to be. They throw things out. Oh, this normally hurts her feelings. This normally hurts his feelings. This normally sets him off. This normally sets her off. So they throw that old bone out there and they want to see you go running out there. But when you're no longer responding, ooh, that's a problem. Why? They don't recognize that person. So they want the old you. But I hear the Lord saying to rest in me. I've seen everything. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to handle those who comes against you. I'm going to handle those who plots against you. I'm going to handle those who's praying evil prayers against you. And I'm going to suddenly remove those people from your life that you thought was your friend. I'm going to pull the covers off. And sometimes God says, I won't even reveal things to you because God is trying to protect you. Sometimes he knows and he sees that your heart is in such a fragile place that he doesn't even want you to know what this person is about. He's just going to remove them from your life. They would have been around you, and then suddenly they're just not going to be there anymore. You're not going to know why. Sometimes God's not going to tell you why, because it will hurt you too much to know. That's why sometimes when he removes certain people out of your life, when you break up with a person or when things end, there's certain things that God does not reveal to you because he cares about your heart. It will be too much for you to bear the truth. He'll just remove the person. So sometimes when someone wants to leave your life or someone keeps they just don't act right and the relationship is ending, don't try to chase down what has been separated, because if that person is for you, they're going to be there, and God will not have it as so that you break up. If this person is for you, they're going to be in your life. If this friend is a friend, they're going to be there. Stop trying to chase down people that God is removing, because there's some wickedness, there's evil, there's some malice, or God sees the great offense and the wicked plots that will be in their heart 2 years down the line, and is removing them now. And sometimes, guys, the things that you know or you may not know, God is trying. What you know, you may know in part. He may let you know certain things, but he won't let you know too much. It will be too much for you to bear. And certain things, he'll just remove the person from your life. Everything was going good, and suddenly that they are no more. Do not pursue these relationships and these friendships and these things that begin to happen when it's not working out and it's just, God's just showing you things. Or in this case, they're suddenly gone. Don't chase it down. Don't chase it down. Leave it alone. There's something you don't know that God saw, but he knew it would be too hard for you to know the truth and to know what's really going on. He protects our heart, guys. He loves us. And if you can just embrace that love and trust him no matter what, then guys, you're not going to be as stressed out. You're not going to have all this anxiety. You won't find yourself running after the old stuff and the old man popping up again. All I hear the Lord saying is, I'm taking care of everything. Don't worry about it. Moses was just going about his father's business. He was just following the Lord. All he was about doing the thing that God has laid out for him. So while Miriam, even his own folks, guys, I'm here to tell you, that's the thing. This was his family talking about him. And God did not mince words. And he did not lighten up. So this is why when people are thinking, guys, they can just say and do things to you because, oh, you're just this and you're just that. This is where the whole thing comes out, guys, that, oh, this is my family. They can do whatever. This is my family. No, guys. No, that's not true. The Lord put leprosy on Moses' sister. So no, it's not, oh, this is my family. They can do what they want to do. God does not see things that way. He sets clear lines and boundaries. And so, guys, what I'm saying is, it is not for you to just allow people to abuse you and do you wrong and say, this is my family. No, Jesus don't see that. I mean, I'm sorry. God does not see that. God does not see that. He sees the offense and he's going to deal accordingly. It's only because of Moses in just praying and seeking the Lord, beseeching with him on her behalf, that he had mercy on her. And to some degree, that's what will happen. When he hears your voice, he will at times give mercy to that person. Be confident. God's got you. He's taking care of everything. But don't mess it up by putting your hand in the pot. Don't mess it up by trying to justify yourself and vindicate yourself. Be still. Rest easy in the Lord. I hear him saying, I hear everything and I see everything. Don't worry about it. I'm taking care of you. All right, guys.